गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः. We are going to start with 69th verse, chapter 2, because it was mute in the last one. So we'll just repeat that. And here it was told that a person who is one who has not controlled his indriyas, who has not controlled his senses, he can never come to transcend the karma. And only when you transcend the karma or kartrutva abhiman, only then one can be established in the truth, in the wisdom, and one must. Yesterday also we saw. Again, we'll have to repeat it because didn't get recorded. We saw that both the karma and the upasana, they do not lead you to liberation. They only lead you to relative liberation. And relative liberation is going to the Hiranyagarbha. And मेरे को जरा एक टिश्यू देना. And Hiranyagarbha is the place where the total Purusha is existing, and that total Purusha is the Brahmaji, and he is the creator, he is the firstborn. And when the cycle of creation concludes and becomes the manifest creation becomes unmanifest, at that time the Brahmaji also becomes unmanifest. And along with that, whoever reaches that state of Hiranyagarbha, that loka of Hiranyagarbha, he also becomes unmanifest. And when he becomes manifest, whoever is there in that loka, they also become manifest. That was told yesterday. And one must recognize that in our life, as a seeker, because senses have to be in control. If I have got senses under control, how will I function? How will I do this? No, the Lord is taking care of everything. He brought this creation into existence. It is His responsibility to maintain it, and it is His responsibility to decide or conclude or whatever according to each one's karma when their life is going to get concluded. Who are we to improve this world or to do seva of this world? We must do seva, but with this inside it must be clear. My seva is not required by anyone. Just like we are clear, our lecture is not required by anyone. That's very clear. But if we take it the other way, then arrogance will come. And in this way, we have to bring up, only when we think in this way that the Lord is taking care of everything in our life, let it be hunger, let it be sneeze, let it be thoughts, let it be waking, dream, deep sleep, everything is according to His will. And when that in nishchintata, carefreeness comes, then it is possible that we can go ahead. That then it is when this nishchintata, this carefreeness becomes steady in our life, then we are moving ahead. Then we are qualified for the next stage. So prajna pratishtita. Prajna pratishtita means what? Prajna is not just knowledge. Prajna. क्यों हो रहा है? Light बहुत ज़्यादा है. Prajna pratishtita means when our mind is focused, steadily thinking, contemplating, brooding, meditating on what? Aham Brahmasmi. This is prajna. When no other thought of the world is disturbing and our mind is only on Aham Brahmasmi vritti, somewhere the vritti will drop and the abidance will happen. See? But for that, first you have to control your senses. So in this way, now we come to the 69th verse. Repeat after me. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam, ya nisha sarva bhutanam, tasyam jagarti sanyami, tasyam jagarti sanyami, yasyam jagrati bhutani, yasyam jagrati bhutani, sa nisha pashyato munehe, pashyato munehe. Dnyaneshwari Maharaj says in the 16th, the man of self-control keeps awake in that which is night to all creatures, and that in which the creatures keep awake is the night for the discerning sage. So what is this nisha? Nisha means night. Night means where everything is dark. Ignorance is the foundation of nisha. And when it is nisha, when it is dark, when you are in ignorance, discrimination is not possible. If discrimination is not possible, how will you come to know what is the constant? Correct? Many people in our home also, many people enjoy sleeping 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, baapre. And who is this yogi? Who remains awake when the whole world is sleeping? He is awake. When the whole world is awake, he is sleeping. Now when the whole world is sleeping to what are they sleeping to? They are sleeping towards, or they are asleep and they are not cognizant of or thinking about, contemplating about, meditating upon the truth, the consciousness. And the yogi, the Sthita Prajna Purusha, is continuously awake to that Aham Brahmasmi vritti, to that constant principle. And what is the world awake to? World is awake to the variety, the multiplicity, the changes. And what is this yogi or the Sthita Prajna Purusha awake, sleeping to? He is totally unaware, doesn't want to interact with what is changing. He doesn't want to think about what is changing. See? Totally opposite. So we determine in our life what do we want to be awake towards and what do we want to be asleep towards. Dnyaneshwari Maharaj says in the commentary, देखे भूत जात निदेले तथेची जया पाहले आणि जीव जेथ चैले तेथ निद्रितुजो तोची तो निरूपाधी अर्जुना तो स्थिर बुद्धी तोची जाणे निरवधी मुनीश्वर. He says that self-knowledge in regards to which the ordinary people are in dark is like a dawn to the yogi. And why dawn to a yogi? The moment dawn breaks, that very moment the darkness, that ignorance starts receding or goes away. Exactly the same way. The moment we wake up to our essential nature, at that very moment, even when we are beginning, just like dawn is, you have not seen the sun, but dawn is the announcement that the sun is coming, isn't it? You have not seen the sun yet, and that dawn is itself enough to remove the darkness. Exactly the same way, when you are on Aham Brahmasmi Vritti, contemplating on the truth, you have not come to know the truth, but your mind is totally focused and ekatanata, is continuously thinking about I am the supreme reality, this, the real me is that one. And in that, all ignorance. What is ignorance here now again? All the changes, the panchakoshas, the world, the duality, the multiplicity, the pancha mahabhutas, the past, present, future, everything. When you are not available, you are only available to the truth and only thinking about the truth, then the mind is not available to everything else in the world. The yogi remains as if asleep, that is indifferent to that sense enjoyment in regards to which they are wide awake. Normal people, common folk, they are awake to the sense pleasures, and the yogi or the Sthita Prajna Purusha, he is totally asleep. Or what does asleep mean? He is udasin. Tyage naike amritatva manashuhu. So he has become indifferent totally towards all sense stimuli. Doesn't give them any value, does not give them any heed, no importance. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. That also thought is not there in it. We will still say that and sabotage ourselves. Understand? He doesn't even think that. ठीक है, सब ठीक है. Because why sab theek hai? Because his attention is not on what is theek hai. His attention is, world is as it is. Whatever you change in this world, it is still the same. It is changing. And therefore, sab theek hai. Because you cannot improve it. And the other way, his attention is only on the reality, the self. And when you look at it, look at anything from that point of view, from the consciousness point of view or from the self point of view, again सब कुछ ठीक है. From ocean's point of view, सब कुछ ठीक है. From wave point of view, कुछ भी ठीक नहीं है. So what is our position? Are we the wave or are we thinking of totality or absolute? Such a person, O Arjuna, is free from limiting conditions and steady in wisdom. Know him to be a great sage, free from limitations. Here it was told, Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sanyami. Sanyama means when your mind is at the same time doing dharana dhyan samadhi. When you are in one go. Dharana is with reference to desha. Dharana, dhyana. Dhyan is with reference to vastu. And samadhi is going beyond the time kala. And when one has, and this is how in the even today there are people there who, when they do sanyam, so what are we supposed to do sanyam of? Sanyam of Aham Brahmasmi. But there are people who do sanyam of plants, jadi booty, they do sanyam of the constellations, and they become adept at becoming a good astrologer because they are able to do sanyam. Then the whole universe reveals itself. When you do sanyam on a plant or a leaf or a root or a shoot or a twig, that plant will reveal itself. Because your mind has become undisturbed. Firstly, it is undisturbed by the world, and secondly, it has become totally focused on what is. The thought is still there. So in our case, the thought is Aham Brahmasmi. In the Ayurvedic persons, the thought is what is the quality of this plant or jadi booty. In case of astrologer, his attention is on the universe. Okay? And it reveals. You can become totally focused on one person, and that person has to reveal. Meaning that person doesn't reveal, but the information about whatever you are focusing on, when you do sanyam on, the knowledge you access the totality, and from that totality, as if the information about that particular object that you are focusing upon gets downloaded in your mind. Just like in Matrix, he doesn't know how to fly the helicopter. She calls and button the or he doesn't know how to martial arts, button the wire, and he learns all the steps, everything in a moment. He becomes a martial art expert. In a moment. He doesn't know how to use the machine guns, this, that. One button from the command control, and he becomes adept at all. Any gun you give, he immediately recognizes how to use it. Same way. That was a movie. But actually, and that movie begins with Om Purnamada Purnamidam. In that movie, the background music is Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu. So exactly the same way. This sanyama is anything you want to achieve in life, sanyama. Even if it is truth, sanyama. Very, very much required. Because you have to go beyond the conditionings of desha, kala, vastu. Space, time and objectivity, we have to go beyond. And we cannot go beyond just by wishing. Because who is this person? We are only in second chapter. Who is this person? The comparison is being made between Sthita Prajna and the common man, common person. Who is the common person? Who takes the world to be real. Contrary to that, who is this wise person? The one who doesn't take the world to be real. He is udasin towards it. And therefore, he is having a sanyam, he is having a steady contemplation without a gap, continuous. And it is not merely a contemplation, eventually, just like that plant reveals, the universe reveals, here the Brahma Asmi, Aham Brahma Asmi. If the understanding of Aham, Brahma and Asmi is clear, then Brahma will reveal. Brahma means not Brahmaji, this is Brahman. It will reveal to such a person. So, this in our case, I have already spoken about the karma, so we will not talk about that more. So this Atma Gnani, this Sthita Prajna Purusha, this fellow, or this seeker, this who wants to, whose only goal is to abide in the truth, this Atma Gnani, he does not do anything, and things happen in his life by his mere presence. Why? Why? Just like when a child, he does not do anything. But the moment He sees the mama is not around, he starts crying. But the moment he sees mom, everything is fine. One moment to the next. Why? Exactly the same way. Exactly the same. Is the sun moving around the earth? No. The whole world, solar system is moving around, but not the sun itself. The sun is not doing anything. But we are saying what? The sun rose, the dawn came, and darkness was removed. But sun did not do anything. But we see it, perceive it that way, isn't it? Exactly the same way. When the inner sun, the self, which does not do anything, in its presence, all ignorance goes away, and things for that person, if there is a person, because other people are seeing him or her, for that person, things start happening in his or her life according to his will, not according to your will. And once इसका चस्का लग गया ना एक बार कि चस्का, you understand? Once you get the kick out of this, that I don't have to do anything, everything is happening, I'm watching, but there's no desire that this should happen, I'm not doing anything, now this should happen, now I'm not doing anything, that should happen. No. Like one lady came yesterday and she said, Swamiji, this, that, everything, sab kuch ho gaya. Swamiji, please tell my husband not to smoke. I said, spend 1.5 hours with me and I am trying to tell you, you can't demand anything from anyone, even from your husband. If he's working hard, he needs a smoke here and there. What, do you prefer him to go on drugs or what? No, Swamiji, then let him smoke. बड़ा सिनारो देखो तो छोटा ठीक लगता है ना, comparison. But insistence, yeah, I understand Swamiji, I have to stop expecting. But when she was getting into the car, bye, but Swamiji, don't forget to tell my husband. क्या बोलेंगे? And therefore, coming to, with that thought, we come to the 71st verse. Vihaya kamanya sarvan, Vihaya kamanya sarvan. ये ठीक है ना, कि बीच में भूल गया? हाँ, 70. अपूर्यमाणमचलप्रतिष्ठं समुद्रमाप प्रविशन्ति यद्वत् तद्वत् कामायं प्रविशन्ति सर्वे स शान्तिमाप्नोति स कामकामी शान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी. He says here, this is the 70th verse, isn't it? Even as the waters flow into the sea, which though ever being filled remains unaffected, so he in whom all desires enter attain peace, and not one who hankers after objects of desire. See, just like so much water is getting evaporated from the ocean, so many rivers are pouring into the ocean, so much rain is happening on the ocean, but the ocean does not break its barriers. It does not feel that I have become less because water is evaporating, that I have become more because rivers are pouring billions and billions and billions of liters of water into it. It doesn't feel more or less. It continues to be the same. Exactly the same way, the man of wisdom, he does not feel any lack or completeness. If something comes to him, he does not feel he has gained, and if someone is taken away, he does not feel there is any loss. Such is his disposition. Why? Because his attention is not on the world. His attention is on the tattva. Ocean's attention is on completeness. I am in them and they are in me. A wave's vision is, it has an individuality. Ocean doesn't have an individuality. And where individuality comes only when you are identified with something. Ocean is not identified. If at all you want to use the word identification, he is identified with the totality. See? And therefore remains unaffected by coming and going of. So, if someone takes your time away, you should not feel bad. If someone gives you their time, you should not feel good. Both. If someone gives you Viksha, you should not feel, you should show Dhanyavad or bless, but you should not feel, oh, I'll come here again, she gave me good food. And if someone scolds you and says, get away from here, useless fellow, you should not curse that fellow and feel bad. Feel bad here. If you feel bad, then you will curse. If you feel good, then you will go back to the same house again. So both know. And in such a person, here it says, in whom all desires enter and attain peace. Because he has come back, the desire of whose? Who has desire? Tell me. Who has desire?
The individual.
The individual. Who has desire? The wave has the desire. The individual has the desire. Because that individual is identified with form and taking the world to be real. And forgetting that he is the ocean or the water, he wants to complete himself, the wave wants to complete itself by creating interaction, communication, relationship, etc. with everything. We are also doing the same thing. But when we have come to this disposition that all is in me and I am in all, then where is the question of, at that moment when this disposition happens, where your vision transforms all in one and one in all, then at that very moment all your desires are fulfilled in toto. In other words, you are not hankering after any desires. Why? Everything is all right. Everything is fine. Nothing can be added, nothing can be subtracted. All desires over, all desires fulfilled. All desires enter and attain peace. Peace means for desire to be there, you need a desirer. The ego has to be there who desires. But what has happened now? The desirer has vanished. Desire was for the world. But this fellow is having sanyam. He's become indifferent to the world. And eventually he abides. And in that abidance, there cannot be any desire. Just like you don't have any desire in deep sleep, even though it's a state of ignorance. Imagine samadhi. You cannot have any desire there also, which is a wakeful sleep. Dnyaneshwari Maharaj says, Partha ani kahi pari, correct, huh? Partha ani kahi pari, to jano yeil avadhari, jaisi akshobhata sagari, akhandita, zarhi sarita bodh samasta, paripurna ho nimilata, tarhi adhikano he ishata, मर्यादा न संडी धातरी ग्रीष्म काली सरिता शोषूनि जाति समस्ता परिन्यून नवे पार्था समुद्रु जैसा. He says, ओ पार्था, देर इज अनदर वे. करेक्ट बोले ना? क्या और भी है?
10 or
हैं?
59.
ओ नीचे और भी है. ओके ओके ओके. 60. तैसा प्राप्ति रिद्धि सिद्धि तया शिक्षो बुनाहि बुद्धि आणि न पवता न बाधि अधृति तया ते. We'll read the rest 5 afterwards. So here he says, O Partha, there is another way by which such a person can be known. Just as the sea remains calm without interruption, and even when the river waters in spate join the sea in the rainy season, it does not swell even a bit and transgress its limits. Or when in the summer all rivers go dry, the sea, O Partha, is not diminished at all. So he is not elated, nor after obtaining miraculous powers, nor does he become depressed when he does not achieve them. So here, what was the question of Arjuna to Bhagavan? What are the Sthita Prajna Lakshana? So here he is telling him towards the conclusion now that a way to, all the verses till now were pointers to that Sthita Prajna Lakshana. And those are the qualities that we must inculcate within us. That vision we have to inculcate. And yet here another one is given that when this wise person is not elated when he gets miraculous powers, nor does he get depressed when they do not come to him. So what is our, if we want some sign ever sadhana, isn't it? Am I moving in the right direction? Am I doing my sadhana correctly? So many years have happened, but Bhagwan has not given me darshan. So many years have happened, I am still the same. So many years have passed. I have chanted so many times. Some people have that count. They keep counting. I chanted 10 lakh times of that Ram Nam. Then why change is not coming? Because you have chanted. That is why it's not coming. You get out of the way, everything will happen right now. See? Because you are chanting. And you continuously are chanting with a mental disposition to want an objective experience, not merge into the Lord Ram. Then how will it happen? You do what is required to be done, which is the Jivatma must surrender, must dissolve in that japa. But you are busy calculating how many I have done. It's not going to happen. As long as you are counting the numbers, as you are calculating, इसमें profit है loss है? If I have taken so many mantras, I have chanted oh Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. यार अभी तो कुछ नहीं हुआ. I think I wasted my 10 years. Now Om Namah Shivaya. Now also nothing happens. Again I wasted. Yaar, all male gods are not doing anything. Let's catch female god now. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu, and you start chanting. And then she takes you for a big long ride. Kundalini. And oh, something is happening. The spine is becoming straight. Something is happening. But you're losing your mind also, but not on the right, in the right way. So don't look for experiences. Never, never, never look for any experience. Aspire for any experience. Kundalini, Kriya Yoga, you should keep your back straight. You take Neem Karoli Baba, always lying down. Akhandanandji Maharaj, lying down. Ramana Maharishi Maharaj, lying down. So they are realized masters, but never kept their spine straight. Ashtavakra, how can he keep his spine straight? He was crooked in 8 places. मेरे को एक और देना ये सीमा. इधर ही रख दे.
गॉगल पहन लो.
नहीं, हाँ.
गॉगल नहीं चाहिए. शायद लिप कर.
I forgot I had glasses. Thank you. So, nor does he become depressed, just like the example taken was ocean. Continuing. सांगै सूर्याच्या घरी प्रकाशू काय वाती वेरी कानल विजे तरी अंधारी कोंडेल तो देखै वृद्धी सिद्धी तया परी आली गेली सेन करी तो विगुंतला असे अंतरी महासुखी जो आपुलेनी नागरपणे इंद्रभुवना ते पावळे म्हणे तो केवी रंजे पालिवणे भिल्लांचेनी जो अमृतासी ठी ठेवी तो जैसा कांजी न सेवी तैसा स्वसुखानुभवी न भोगी रिद्धी पार्था नवल हे पाही जेथ स्वर्ग सुख लेखनीय नाही तेथ रिद्धी सिद्धी काही प्रकृता होती. He says, tell me, does the sun's abode get lit up by the flame of a wick? And if the wick is not lighted, will he remain in darkness? We are talking about the sun. Does the sun need any external source of light to lighten it up? Moon requires. Lightning requires. Stars, okay. That also requires. Stars also require. Why? You are seeing them. External source of light. But as regard here, just take, it's a limited example, just like sun does not require any external source of light to be illumined, so also this self. You don't need a thought to illuminate the self. Aham Brahmasmi is the thought. Initially it is okay when you have removed yourself from everything. You are totally udasin towards the world. But then this Aham Brahmasmi vritti, which is reminding you again and again that you are Brahman, this thought also must die its death. And how will it die its death? Only when you realize, when you stop thinking. When will you stop thinking? That special moment. That special moment. Where is that special moment when you are thinking of sleep and when you fall asleep? That is that special moment. Same way, Aham Brahmasmi vritti, you are thinking I am Brahman, but that thought must die its death so that abidance abidance is there. See, this is what is told. Tell me, does the sun's abode get lit up by the flame of a wick? And if the wick is not lighted, will he remain in darkness? No, this essential self is self-luminous. It's self-knowing, it is self-existing. In the same way, he is not, now we are talking about the Sthita Prajna Purusha. The Sthita Prajna Purusha, the man of wisdom, he is not conscious of the miraculous powers even when they come and go. His mind is so completely engrossed in the bliss of the self. Here the word they use, very nice word. What was that? Viguntala. Viguntala is engrossing. He's so caught up in the self that he has got no time to think about anything else. His mind is so completely engrossed in the bliss of the self. How can one who spurns Indra's mansion, preferring his beautiful home, live in a tribal hut? Just like our Nachiketa, when Yamraj offered him the palace, he offered him the Apsaras, he offered him the wealth, with Apsaras coming with their armies, their servants, their chariots, there was so much wealth. But what did he want? Tell me that which is anyatra dharmat cha. Tell me that which is other than the righteous and the unrighteous. You can't lure me by these girls. You cannot lure me by this wealth. Nachiketa, I'm committed to know the truth. Now that I have come to your abode, O Lord of Death, I know you know the truth. And I'm not going to miss this opportunity. What about us? We have also come to the abode of death every moment. But we nod, we accept, but we go back to the default settings. We go back to the default settings. Just as one who finds fault with nectar does not eat gruel, so after attaining the knowledge of the self, one does not enjoy miraculous powers. See? Is it a miracle? The sun comes up and you say, oh, what a miracle, sun has come out, everyone is waking up, everyone is going to work, everyone is taking shower, everyone is doing Sandhya Vandanam, everyone is giving arghya to the sun. Ask the sun, what did you do? He says, I didn't do anything, I am just being me. But they are doing arghya, I don't know whom they are doing, what they are doing, I don't know. Same is the disposition of the wise man also. Moreover, O Partha, when one does not care for celestial pleasures, will it surprise you if such a one considers miraculous powers as trifling? As you go from Bhur, Bhuva, Swa, Tapa, Janama, Satyam, this is a whole journey, this is the seven, the path of the sun. It takes you all the way to Satyalok, and each plane of experience you cross, this is only in the mind. You cross that plane of experience, miraculous powers start expressing through you. But for that, what is required? Mind at peace. And in that mind at peace, if your attention is, I want heaven, then that will come. If you want Pitrulok, then that will come. Then you want the loka of where all the tapasvis are there, then that type of siddhis will come. When you go to Mahat Tattva or the Hiranyagarbha or the Brahmaji, then all the siddhis will be there. And you can get to that point. Karma mark maximum you can, yesterday we saw, karma mark you can go maximum to Hiranyagarbha sthiti. And with that comes this extra side benefit. Buy one, get one free. Get one loka and get all the siddhis free. And yet, we see Mahatmas, which I mentioned before, they don't proclaim to have any siddhis. Yet, thousands of people come around them and their lives are transformed. They feel they are healed physically, mentally, psychologically. In this way, so from our point of view, what do we need to do? We need, as a seeker, we need to move through this world ever alert. Are we getting attached to something? And checking. Yesterday also we saw assessment, re-evaluation. Continuously, this is the price you have to pay if you want realization in this life. Continuous re-evaluation. How much time did I spend thinking about the self? How much time did I think from the point of view of totality? How much time did I think from the world as an individual? Before going to sleep, you assess yourself. Guaranteed. You think like this, mind will say, too much, I have to work, go to sleep. But you be smarter. Do it 10 seconds, 15 seconds, fix it. All you have to do is scan. Introspect, detect, negate, and grow. Introspect your day, detect where you have been less than what you want to be, make a positive affirmation, and go to sleep. Slowly, slowly, things will turn to be better. So, if we are still attached to the world, understand one thing very clearly, that as long as we take the world to be real, if you have not come to this conclusion that nothing can be improved in this world, if you not come to this conclusion, you still think that you can improve. And I'm not saying that don't go and improve things. Don't go and give dakshina. Don't go and. You should go and build temples and whatever good you can do, you do. But inside you must be very clear that this world cannot be improved. I am doing it because it's the right thing to do. Not because the world needs my money, not because the world needs my energy, not because the world needs my lectures. The world does not need anything because it is born out of ignorance. It will remain that way. So, unless and until we do not come to properly understand that this world is continuously changing, therefore ephemeral, therefore unreal, till then desires will keep erupting in your mind. With a small child, we play with the toys, isn't it? You have also played with a toy when you were a small kid. But now, what is your attitude towards the toys? ठीक है यार. But I have seen people at age of 76, an architect somewhere, at age of 76, he still collects those. You remember when we were kids, we used to have those small racing cars, and on the seesaw we'll go and we used to have the race. Still collects those racing cars. I stayed with him every day religiously. He will get up, have breakfast, spend 1.5 hour, 2 hours in his study where he has all these different types of car, different sizes. He will clean them, polish them. So attached. Now, today, he has dementia. Because attachment to such things, attachment to change, that which is changing, that which is not permanent, is going to corrupt your mind some way or the other. You want health, the mind wants health, in the end, the mind wants health. And where is the health going to come? By the mind orienting itself towards the truth, towards the constant principle. And therefore, when we move in this world, don't take the world, don't get attached to anything. Second, don't take the world to be real. Because if you take the world to be real, you will get some or the other desire about the world. See? With that, we come to the 71st verse. Vihaya kamanya sarvan, vihaya kamanya sarvan, pumanscharati nispruhaha, nirmamo nirahankaraha, mamo nirahankaraha, shantimadhigacchati. The man who forsakes all desires and goes about free from the craving, possessiveness, and pride attains to peace. And what is this peace? Self-realization. See? who forsakes all desires. Why? How did he forsake all the desire? By giving zero value to the world. Zero value to the world. अंदर से, बाहर नहीं दिखाना है. Then people will condemn you. This is your secret journey from inside. Nobody needs to know. Total camouflage. Outside, भाई क्या सन्यासी है, खाता है, पीता है, बैठता है, मजे करता है, मूवी देखता है, हाँ, सब कुछ करता है. ये कैसे टाइप का सन्यासी है? अंदर क्या है उसको क्या ठंडा, उसको क्या पता अंदर क्या चल रहा है? That only you know. Oh, what? He's so committed to his family. He's so committed to his children. He's so committed to his grandchildren. He's so doing everything for them. He's providing. उसको क्या पता अंदर से क्या चल रहा है? That only you know. That you are doing it out of attachment or it is happening. That only you can assess that. See? And it's a very fine line where it is attachment or it is done out of detachment. Dnyaneshwari Maharaj says, ऐसा आत्मबोधे तोषला जो परमानंदे पोखला तोची स्थिर प्रज्ञुज भला ओळख तू तो अहंकारा ते दंडुनी सकळ कामू सांडोनी विचरे विश्व होनी विश्वा माझी. He who delights in the knowledge of the self and thrives on bliss, know him to be truly steady in wisdom. He gets rid of egoistic feeling and all desires and roams in this world becoming one with it. Such a person, how does he move around in this world? He gives up all the desires. Second, he does not hold on to anything. Nispruha. Spruha is desire. He does not hold on. If you hold on to something, what is the holding on? Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. The moment you give attention to something, desire for attachment is created. That attachment creates a desire. And who is this Nispruha? The one who is not, who has given up all desires. And Nirmamo, here we have Nirmama Nirahankara. Nispruha Nirmama Nirahankara. What is Nirmama? That me and mine. Mine is what? Holding on to something. He does not hold on to anything. See? And then last is what? Nirahankara. No arrogance, no abhiman of achievement or guilt of failure. Guilt is only for the ego. Ego has ahankar. Ego itself is ahankar. So no arrogance of success nor any guilt of failure. Such a person is nirahankara. Sa shantim adhigacchati. Such a person, then he lives through life. How? He allows the life to be lived through him. He does not live life. Then what is he doing? Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. He is contemplating on the self. He is being the self. He is trying to catch that where the thought concludes and everything is over, or everything begins anew. See? That transformation is waiting. So from the whole world of multiplicity, he came to duality. From duality, he came, and he's still in duality. In that duality, he has come to this ultimate thought, Aham Brahmasmi, because the teacher told him Tattvamasi. And now, Aham, I, individual, am Brahma. Then where is the fault in it, in this statement? that I'm still holding on to the I. I'm still thinking of Brahma as an object to be achieved. This is grace somewhere on the seat of meditation, and it can be that seat of meditation is not necessarily when you're sitting down with closed. If you're continuously contemplating, it can happen anywhere. Anywhere it can happen. You realize that Aham and Brahma are one and the same. That this self, this Aham and Brahma that I am seeking are one and the same. The moment it clicks without a doubt, without a suspicion, that very moment the Aham Brahmasmi thought contemplation is over. Now you are abiding. We have two desires. What is that? One is the desire to, last class, you should remember.
Desire to live.
Desire to live.
Desire to die.
And desire to die. Both the desires we give up. We are taking so many medicines to live. And every now and then, अब तो समय आ गया है, बाल सफ़ेद हो गए हैं, अब तो बस ज़्यादा समय नहीं बाकी है. Desire to die. You know, you are thinking about death. You are not thinking about immortality. Get out of this. If we are spending time to maintain our body and etc., then get out of that also. Easier said than done. Go for a walk every day. I have to keep fit. Why I have to keep fit? What is the thought? Is it because I have to go to Kailash? Or I don't want to be a burden on anybody? Why do I have to keep fit? So that I am fresh and I can contemplate. It is He who is making this body to go through this exercise. There also don't take ownership. That only you can decide inside. You are taking ownership or it is happening. And when we are talking about Nirahankara, same thing as we saw in Mundaka Upanishad, a person who is well versed in the Vedas, etc., and they are Pandits and they are masters, and I am educated, I am a CEO, I am in this profession, I have achieved this, I have achieved that. All this ahankar, this pride, all this must be dissolved. And therefore we are told as sannyasi not to share anything about your past, whoever you may be. But young sannyasis also dhurandhar log hai. Swami Garbadananda, IAS. नीचे IAS लिखा होता है. So Swami Garbadananda is not important. IAS is important. I was IAS before, now I am a Swami. Or they write Dr. Swami so and so. So they want to show they are still attached to their profession. You see that so many places, so many Swamis do that. They should write Swami Atma Bodhananda, ex-husband. ये भी लिखना चाहिए फिर. IAS लिखा है तो ex-husband लिखो. Ex-CEO, ex-husband, ex-lawyer. And such a person who has discovered the identity between Aham and Brahma alone is Sthita Prajna. Because the moment he discovers, he abides. Then he don't. Does it mean that he will continuously be there? He may be there. If he really completely abides, then there is no question of coming back. But initial stages, you will get a glimpse, again you will be back in the world, again you get a glimpse, again you get back in the world comes and takes the thought of Aham Brahmasmi, again comes back. This goes on for some time. Prakriti has to do its job, it is doing, of thinking. Mind is there to think only, no? But what is your understanding now, once you abide? That this thought also I am, and absence of thought also I am. Not only that, this whole world I am. And when the absence of the world also I am, and this is happening without a thought, this disposition is. And when this disposition happens, such a person is called Sthita Prajna Purusha. Now, in the last verse, the Jnana Nishtha, the abidance in the truth, that is being Jnana Nishtha. Nishtha means commitment. Esha Brahmi Sthiti Partha
Esha Brahmi Sthiti Partha
Nainam Prapya Vimohyati
Nainam Prapya Vimuhyati
Sthitva Syamanta Kalepi
Sthitva Syamanta Kalepi
Brahma Nirvanam Ruchyati.
Brahma Nirvanam Ruchyati.
Together, Esha Brahmi Sthiti Partha Nainam Prapya Vimohyati Sthitva Syamanta Kalepi Brahma Nirvanam Ruchyati. He says, this, O Partha, is the Brahmi state. This is the state of realization. This is the state of one who is established in Brahman. After, here, whoever has given the commentary in English, he is saying, after achieving it, better would be once you are abiding in it. After achieving it, no one is deluded. Abiding therein at the time of death, he remains absorbed in Brahman. So, once you are, no commentary in this. So once you are, नीचे है क्या commentary? हाँ, नीचे है. हे ब्रह्म स्थिति निस्सीमा जे अनुभविता निष्काम ते पावले पर ब्रह्म अनायासे जे चिद्रूपी मिळता देहांती ची व्याकुळता आडठा को न सके चित्ता प्राज्ञाजया तेची हे स्थिती स्वमुखे श्रीपती सांगत अर्जुना प्रति संजयो म्हणे. So here he says that this, O Arjuna, is the limitless state of Brahman which selfless persons experience and attain to Brahman. Where, who is selfless person? Who is selfless person? Who has dissolved his I. His individuality is totally dissolved. He is selfless. Selfless is not possible that you maintain your individuality and say I am selfless. This is the biggest hypocrite. Selfless is only possible when you are one with the totality or absolute. Both are selfless. But our understanding is, see, what a selfless person, he gives everything and steals everything afterwards. ऐसे नहीं. Which selfless persons experience and attain to Brahman. You cannot experience Brahman. This is a bit different language. You cannot experience Brahman. It's an experienceless experience. You cannot attain Brahman. You can abide in Brahman. But you can understand what he's telling. When they realize the self, the agony of death does not stand in their way. See? So once you have Where is the body which is going to die? Where is it? In the light of this statement, where is it? It is in Prakriti, isn't it? Once you have come to understand you are the substratum, then once you have understood that you are the ocean, then one wave dies or one wave is born. Nothing, it doesn't matter to you. As a wave, death was an event which you wanted to protect yourself from, isn't it? But as an ocean, you have gone beyond birth and death. Same thing, a devotee or a seeker, once they come to this total vision, one in all and all in one, they have transcended death. Nachiketa transcended death by going to the abode of death. Once you recognize that death is only possible to the body, not to the spirit, and you really believe it, and in that, with that deep conviction, even if you are not realized, and at the time this body dies, with the last breath you think about that, you are realized. You go beyond death. If you are thinking of the self which is beyond death. Sanjay said, in this way did Lord Krishna describe to Arjuna in his own words the Brahmi state, the Brahmi sthiti. And this can be attained at the last moment of your life also. Don't worry ki it has to happen before death. If you're thinking it has to happen before death or in this lifetime, it means your attention is still on the Prakriti. A person who is not thinking about Prakriti, it will happen. But even if you're thinking about Prakriti, at the time of death, if you think about it, then the abundance can happen at the last moment in one's life. So, what is Brahmi Sthiti? What is the state of abidance in truth? What is self-realization? That state of self-realization is where there are no divisions. There is no duality or multiplicity. See? But we also know that the truth is called as Satchidananda, isn't it? So at Sat level, there is no karta and there is no karma. Duality is missing. Duality is missing. Karta and karma. Doer and done. Both are not there. Then chit is the knower and the known, both are missing. Because there is no objectivity. Chit means consciousness. Consciousness alone as if appears as the limited consciousness called mind. And when is it called limited? The moment duality appears. Same mind, when there is no duality, it is actually the truth. But you have to recognize that, no? You are not accepting it, so aham brahmasmi, lage hue hain. You accept it right now, it is, you are there. So at Sat level, karta and karma, the doer and the done, both are absent. Doer and deed is absent. At the Chit level, consciousness level, Sat was existence level, Chit is consciousness level. The knower and the known. Knower is the conscious person, isn't it? It may be I, but here what has happened at Chit level? The knower and the known, both are vanished. They are both dissolved. Both have merged into each other. Both have merged into each other. And at the Ananda level, the enjoyer and the enjoyed both have vanished. They are both, just like you vanish. Just now we had a gulab jamun, isn't it? So we had gulab jamun. Oh, gulab jamun, prasad. First appreciation, then desire. Kitna appreciate karenge? And immediately, now no more desire. isn't it? So our experience also shows in life when karta, karma, jnata, jnaya, bhokta, bhogya, when they become one, there is no, the individuality dissolves. So work towards it. Don't do anything by taking ownership of it. Immediately hand it over to him. So wherever, whenever this karta karma, jnata jnaya or the bhokta bhogya are absent, that is Brahmistiti. That is the truth. That is abidance. Is that abidance happening in deep sleep? Because there is no karta karma, there is no knower known, there is no bhokta bhogya. Is it? Technically it is, but you don't know it. Technically it is. Make yourself available to that state, and therefore all we can do as a seeker is practice, 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 practice. Abhyasena tu kaunteya. Krishna's instruction. Practice. Arjuna, did he practice anything? No. He was sitting and listening to Krishna Bhagavan. He did not practice, but in his mind, the understanding was taking place, and the practice of understanding was going on in the right manner, not according to how he wants to think. If he thought something, he asked the question, it was resolved, and that's why we see within Bhagavad Gita very quickly from karma to karma, karma sannyas to dhyana to then bhakti, which is taking you to totality in 11th chapter, and then jnana. Very quickly Arjuna is able to transcend the lower understanding and move on to the higher. Are we having that acumen to move from the lower to the higher, or we are saying, I am happy where I am? If you are happy where you are, then you will keep getting what you have got. Then you are not desirous of Brahmistiti. Continuing. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidya. Oh, sorry, you have to repeat, no? Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Sambhade Sankhya Yogo Nama Dvitiyodhyayah. Together. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Sambhade Sankhya Yogo Nama Dvitiyodhyayah. He says, I say Krishna Vakya Aikile Tetha Arjune Mani Manitale Ata Amuchiyachi Kaza Kira Ale Upapatti Iya Ze Karmazat Aghave Etha Nirakarile Deve Tari Parushale Mya Zunzave Manauniya. So he says here, where are we? Then Arjuna said to himself, this reasoning suits me well. If the Lord negates all action, his advice that I should fight cancels itself. What did the Lord? If the Lord negates all actions, if surrender to the Lord makes me no more a doer in life, then I should surrender to him. Then his advice, all action, his advice that I should fight cancels itself. Why? When he is saying that you should uttishta, get up and fight, because he told in the beginning of second chapter. He says, on one hand he is saying this, on second hand he is saying go and fight. He says both are cancelling because everything he is only doing. You see? Thus, Arjuna became overjoyed to hear this speech of Lord Krishna. The occasion is sweet, being the abode of religion of the unlimited sea of ambrosial thoughts. Now I, Jnanadeva, disciple of Nivritti, shall recount what the omniscient Lord declared to Arjuna, which will be the third chapter, which is Karma Yoga. So here he says, ऐसा श्री अच्युताचिया बोला चित्ती धनुर्धरु उवाइला आता प्रश्नु करील भला आशंकोनी तो प्रसंगु असे नागरु जो सकळ धर्मासी आगरु किम विवेकामृत सागरु प्रांतहीनु जो आपण सर्वज्ञानात नाथू निरूपिता होईल श्री अनंतु ज्ञानदेवो सांगेल मातु निवृत्तिदासु इति श्री ज्ञानदेव विरचितायां भावार्थ दीपिकायां द्वितीयोऽध्यायः. It didn't come in that tune. So in that way, Om Sat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we find that this in this Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which is none other than the essence of all the Upanishads, because in this Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Vidyayam, and this Brahma Vidya, the Brahma Jnana, is revealed through the dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna Samvade, Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. And this particular dialogue between both of them is called as Sankhya Yoga Nama, and it comprises the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Sankhya Yoga, everything is placed neatly and explained to you. What is spirit, what is the Prakriti, what is the world, how does anger come, what is attachment, what is detachment, what is sanyama, what is control of senses, what is control of mind, what is focus, all these, what is sat, what is that famous? Uchyate, kya uchyate? No, वो तो आगे है. आया था ना एक वर्ष. What is equanimity? Samatvam yoga uchyate. That was also brought about, how it comes about. So the complete scheme of things, because Arjuna asked, tell me what is the highest. And when he tells what is the highest, apparently he did not understand completely, because suddenly Krishna said, you asked, I give. And then when his question was not about the highest, it was on karma. So again he comes down and he starts explaining, and already by the end of second chapter, Arjuna is already asking Siddha Prajna Lakshana. So that means we see the transformation in the thinking of Arjuna. He has forgotten his despondency. He has forgotten his crisis. Instead, now he is inspired to know how does a man of wisdom live in this world. We also should get inspired like Arjuna and continue to walk this path to perfection. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Just sit quietly for a moment.